The power of sincere connection is shown by love that perseveres despite difficulties. In the real-life spouses who are together despite all the odds, we honor couples who have persevered through hardships and setbacks, demonstrating the strength of fortitude and dedication. These couples have decided to support one another through various challenges, including overcoming cultural expectations, personal hardships, and work demands. Their inspirational stories serve as a reminder that love is about more than simply enjoying the good times. It's also about enduring hardships together and coming out stronger and closer. Their tales are an ode to steadfast cooperation and optimism. LeBron James and Savannah Brinson, 7 years together. LeBron James is a 3-time NBA champion, as most people know. Given his successful athletic career, one might argue that women are vying for his attention. James has been faithful to Savannah Brinson, his high school sweetheart, who has been his wife for 7 years. Brinson remembered how James returned to the restaurant to get her leftovers and delivered them to her house after she knew he was the one on their first date. The grandchildren will adore hearing this love tale over and over again. Michael Strahan and Kayla Quick, 6 years together. Today, Michael Strahan, a former professional American football player, is most recognized for his work as a broadcaster. He gained notoriety in 2015 when he began seeing an enigmatic lady called Kayla Quick. Because Quick was allegedly arrested twice as a teenager, the media went crazy over her. Strahan and Quick have remained together since meeting at a Super Bowl after-party, putting the past behind them. Known for Good Morning America, Strahan had appearances in More Than an Athlete, Red Table Talk, and the 2021 TV special Black Entrepreneurs Day. Lester Holt and Carol Hagen, 40 years together. As the face of NBC News since 2000, Lester Holt has solidified his position as a prominent figure in American media. He has been in charge of Dateline NBC since 2011 and received praise for his performance on NBC Nightly News, where he was a regular from 2007 to 2015. His flexibility was evident during co-hosting Weekend Today from 2003 to 2015. In addition to his remarkable career, Lester is married to Carol Hagen, whom he met when she was a flight attendant and whom he married in 1982. Together with their 2 boys, Stefan and Cameron, the couple currently leads a busy life in Manhattan. Lester claims that their shared laughter is the key to their long-lasting marriage. Hoda Kotb and Joel Schiffman, 8 years together. Hoda Kotb made headlines in 2019 with 2 happy announcements. She was formally engaged to Joel Schiffman and had adopted her second daughter. The pair had been together for 6 years. Subsequently, Kotb told Andy Cohen that the highlight of her night was the event where they first met. During a romantic vacation in Mexico, Schiffman proposed, and Kotb called it the most ideal moment of her life. Savannah Guthrie and Michael Feldman, 9 years together. After beginning her journalistic career in Missouri, Savannah Guthrie moved to Arizona before ending up in the center of the nation's capital. In 2011, she joined the Today Show family, which was her big break, and she continues to play that role. From a personal standpoint, Guthrie married Michael Feldman in 2014, and the two are now happy parents to 2 adorable kids. Meeting at Feldman's birthday celebration 6 years before their wedding was a reasonably endearing start to their narrative. Pat Sajak and Leslie Brown, 31 years together. Pat, the affable presenter of Wheel of Fortune, has been blissfully married to Leslie, a gifted photographer, for over 30 years. Although they did not immediately fall in love when they first met in California in 1988, they remained friends. Their marriage in 1989 resulted from their pleasant relationship gradually developing into a romance. Since then, Leslie has supported Pat through his ups and downs, including his career and health issues. Together, they are a perfect example of cultivating a loving, resilient relationship that lasts a lifetime. Don Lemon and Tim Malone, 4 years together. In 2016, Don, a well-known CNN news presenter, and Tim, a real estate agent in New York, started dating. After 3 years, the couple declared their engagement, bought 2 cute dogs, and decided to sell their Harlem house. Don has been with CNN for almost a decade and is presently the face of CNN Tonight. He also often appears on CNN Newsroom as a journalist. The $10 million anchor made a big mistake in 2020 as a contributor to the groundbreaking show Visible out on television. Juan Williams and Susan Delise, 42 years together. Susan Delise wishes to live a low-key existence away from the prying eyes of the media, in contrast to her famous spouse. The pair, who have been married since 1978, love spending time with their 2 grandkids. They have brought up 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl. While Juan's work as a political analyst has been in the public glare for years, Susan's professional life is still mostly private. Juan has accumulated an estimated $2 million from his work on numerous media sources, including appearances on Outnumbered and Fox Files, and he has contributed to well-known newspapers, including The Washington Post. He is a recognizable figure on The Five. Juan, who is 66, is still actively involved in his job, while Susan is thought to be in her 60s, but her precise age is unknown. Chris Cuomo and Christina Cuomo, 19 years together. In the world of tales and headlines, you can be sure that a magazine editor and a television journalist will be a perfect fit. Close friends say Chris and Christina have shown that to be true. They have 3 children and have been married since 2001. Unexpectedly, Christina was stylishly late on her Southampton wedding day. Rumors of a runaway bride were circulating in the tabloids, but the reality was far more glamorous. Christina was having trouble fitting into her gorgeous Oscar de la Renta gown. What a spectacular beginning to their marriage. Mark Consuelos and Kelly Ripa, 23 years together. While shooting All My Children, Kelly met her future husband and the two immediately hit it off. The pair has never abandoned one another, even after a brief breakup. They eloped because they wanted to explore their adventurous spirits. After sharing a photo of their 1996 honeymoon, the actress took a journey down memory lane, and they looked lovely. Having 3 children, Mark and Kelly have been open about the highs and lows of juggling marriage and motherhood. Together, they resolve all of their problems, putting up a strong front and consistently coming out stronger than before. Sean Hannity and Ainsley Earhardt, 2 years together. The broadcasters Sean Hannity and Ainsley Earhardt are a new American power couple that Fox News has discovered. The network's first famous pair fell in love in 2019 and have been together for at least 2 years. They were both going through divorces, which could have contributed to their spark. An in-depth article on the pair was published by Vanity Fair in 2020. It detailed how they startled everyone by coming together to one of Donald Trump's golf clubs in a private chopper. Greg Gutfeld and Elena Musa, 17 years together. Greg Gutfeld, a Fox News anchor, is married to Elena Musa, a fashion stylist of Russian descent. Meanwhile, she began her professional career as a runway model in Russia and co-hosts The Five. He hosts the weekly show Gutfeld. The Daily Beast claims they first connected in 2004 at a Maxim convention. He was editor-in-chief of the UK version of Maxim magazine at the time, while she was a photo editor for the Russian edition. The couple didn't have children today, but were married after only 5 months of dating. Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, 47 years. According to the ancient Mayans, a relationship's strength is not derived from the absence of crises, but rather from its capacity to recover from them. The Clintons are undoubtedly the pair that has suffered the most, having gone through several severe crises together. They have been active in American politics throughout their lives, even long into 2022, when Hillary Clinton had to defend herself against claims that she was a spy on the Trump campaign. They are also among the most well-known couples in the public eye. They've been together for over 40 years, having been married since 1975. Kamala Harris and Doug Emhoff, 8 years together. It was historic when Kamala Harris was elected Vice President of the United States in 2021. Similarly, her husband, Doug Emhoff, became the first second gentleman in history. Due to her presence in public appearances, the politician is well known to her supporters. Cole and Ella, Emhoff's 2 children from a previous relationship, affectionately referred to Harris as their Mamala. Somebody also saw their children during the vice president's inauguration in January 2021. The couple, who met on a blind date, were married in a private ceremony. Jen Psaki and Gregory Metcher, 12 years. The 34th White House press secretary was Jen Psaki. She had a great first year under the Biden presidency in 2021, according to Forbes. In 2010, she married Gregory Metcher before assuming the position. In 2010, they got to know one another while working for the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee. Of course, having worked successfully for the same political team for more than 11 years is undoubtedly beneficial to a relationship. It has been a crazy journey for them both that he, a Delhi-raised child, would never have anticipated, as the Cincinnati Enquirer notes with a reference to Metcher. Kimberly Guilfoyle and Donald Trump Jr., 3 years together. Kimberly Guilfoyle, an American TV personality and political strategist who appeared in the 2021 comedy The Supporters, worked closely with former U.S. President Donald Trump in the latter years of his presidency. However, she was much closer to Donald Trump Jr., the president's son, with whom she has been seeing since at least 2018. Vanessa Trump, who had just divorced Trump Jr., revealed Guilfoyle and Trump Jr.'s connection to the public. Guilfoyle and Trump Jr. invested $9.7 million in a new opulent property in Jupiter, Florida in March 2021. Nikki Haley and Michael Haley, 26 years together. Nikki Haley, the first female governor of South Carolina and ambassador to the UN, has a lot of admirers and critics. For instance, when she opposed the government in 2021 for the U.S., she caused considerable controversy, assault on the Capitol. Fortunately, Nikki's husband, Michael Haley, whom she has been married to since 1996, is a solid support system. They had 2 ceremonies, a Sikh formality and one at St. Andrews by the Sea. He also served and said that he and his family had a terrible time during their years of service. Peter Ducey and Hillary Vaughn, 3 years together. Fox News White House reporter Peter Ducey has both professional and personal success. Peter married fellow journalist Hillary Vaughn, who works for Fox Business Network, and is the son of TV celebrity Steve Ducey. They have connected because they both have a love for reporting. The pair had a private wedding at an exclusive South Carolina resort in April 2021. Their intense bond and chemistry are still visible and admirable, even though they mostly keep their romantic lives private. J.K. Rowling and Neil Murray, 19 years together. From the beginning, J.K. Rowling's life has been an emotional roller coaster. She had previously been married to Jorge Orantes, a Portuguese journalist, in an abusive marriage. She left him and ended up on benefits as a struggling single mother. However, her life improved once Rowling released her first Harry Potter novel. She became a millionaire due to the books and the movies that followed, and she fell in love again with Neil Murray, a Scottish physician. They were married in 2001, and their 3 kids reside in an Edinburgh home from the 17th century. She is now working on the video game Hogwarts Legacy and 3 Fantastic Beasts movies. Robert Redford and Sybil Zaggers, 11 years together. Robert Redford excels in every endeavor. In addition to being a fantastic filmmaker with a few blockbusters, he is an Oscar-winning actor. In addition to being a great organizer, he founded the premier independent film festival, the Sundance Film Festival. He is also a talented driver who owns a Porsche of racing caliber. He may even teach us a few things about marriage. Despite ending in divorce, his first marriage lasted 27 years. He has been with Sybil Zaggers for a long time, and they are presently married. In 2009, they were married. Desert of the Real is a documentary that Redford is presently producing. Cheryl Ladd and Brian Russell, 40 years together. Cheryl Ladd has already established her brand around the name when she and her first husband, David Ladd, were divorced, and she could not alter it. Despite being married to her present spouse for 40 years, she still uses her ex-husband's last name. In 1981, a year after her divorce was completed, she wed music producer Brian Russell. After bringing one into the marriage, they haven't had any additional children together. Ladd is a famous spokesperson for Child Help, a group that prevents and treats child abuse, and Russell is a published author. Ladd last appeared in the Christmas film Christmas Unwrapped in 2020. Alan Jackson and Denise Jackson, 41 years together. Alan Jackson owes his wife a great deal. If she hadn't acted quickly when she saw country music sensation Glenn Campbell on a flight where she worked as an attendant, he might still be locked in the mailroom of the Nashville network. Her husband's career took off when she informed the well-known celebrity about his skill, and he handed her his manager's business card. He was the first musician signed to the Nashville division of Arista Records. Despite their 1997 divorce because of his adultery, he is still married to the lady who helped make it happen and has sold over 75 million albums globally. Daniel Radcliffe and Aaron Dark, 9 years together. The youthful wizard was portrayed by Daniel Radcliffe, as any fan of the Harry Potter film series is aware. He met the love of his life, Aaron Dark, in 2012 while filming his 2013 film, Kill Your Darlings, and the two have been together ever since. Dark is well known for her roles as Cindy in Good Girls Revolt and Mary in The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. According to The Things, the pair spent downtime together at Radcliffe's home in New York, and he sometimes makes affectionate references to her in his interviews. Richard Branson and Joan Templeton, 44 years together. When Richard Branson first met Joan Templeman, he was only the proprietor of a record label. But since they were married, he's become a business tycoon, controlling lucrative companies like health clubs and an airline. Given that Branson left his first wife to be with Kristen Tomasi, she must also be exceptional. They first crossed paths in 1976, but weren't married until 1989. He wed her in a lavish ceremony on his own Necker Island. In 2020, he pledged the island as collateral to keep Virgin Atlantic viable amid the travel prohibitions in 2020. Ron Howard and Cheryl Howard, 45 years together. Ron Howard, the son of Sheriff Andy Taylor, became a child star on The Andy Griffith Show. However, it wasn't until he married his longtime wife, Cheryl, that he discovered his real calling when he entered the directing profession. Happy Days, a beloved comedy, was Howard's debut role. After that, he became a director, producing such masterpieces as Solo, A Star Wars Story, Backdraft, and The Da Vinci Code, and Cocoon. In addition to shooting Willow, a television series, he works on around 5 other projects. Denzel Washington and Pauletta Washington, 37 years together. Despite his advanced age, Denzel Washington is one of those Hollywood celebrities who never fails to make a lady swoon. But despite his fame, he has always remained a one-woman guy throughout his career. Would you happen to know why? He and Pauletta Washington have been wed since 1983. During a screen test for the Wilma Rudolph story, the Oscar-winning star of Glory, Training Day, and Remember the Titans got to know his wife. David Washington, who has acted in movies including Tenet and Black Klansman, is the oldest of their 4 children. Meanwhile, Denzel has 2 films in post-production, The Tragedy of Macbeth and The Little Things, with a 2021 release. Laura San Giacomo and Matt Adler, 21 years together. Due to her role in the popular comedy Just Shoot Me, Laura San Giacomo is well known. She also voiced characters in the animated series Gargoyles and appeared in Miami Vice. Giacomo met her first husband, Cameron Dye, while working on Miami Vice. Despite having a kid together, their marriage did not endure. Eventually, she got to know Matt Adler, who was well known for his parts in Dream a Little Dream, Whitewater Summer, Teen Wolf, and North Shore. They reside in California's San Fernando Valley and were married in 2000. She most recently starred in the movie Violet in 2021. Cyndi Lauper and David Thornton, 30 years together. With songs like Girls Want to Have Fun and All Through the Night, Cyndi Lauper was about females at her peak in the 1980s. However, she began dating actor David Thornton in 1989, and by the end of the decade, she had found a guy worth her time. Thornton, well known for his parts in Law and Order and The Notebook, married Lauper in 1991. In 2021, they are still together and have a son. Goonies 2 has not been given a release date, but there are rumors that Lauper will appear. Keith Richards and Patty Hansen, 37 years together. Keith Richards is the personification of the excess of being a rock star. Nevertheless, since 1983, he has been wed to model and actress Patty Hansen. Given that they are 10 years apart in age and that artists of his caliber often have a large number of female companions, it would appear odd. In 1979, when Hansen was starring in her debut film and the Rolling Stones were at the height of their popularity, they met at the renowned Studio 54 Club. Theodora and Alexandra are the names of their two daughters. Richards has contributed music to several 2021 projects, such as Close Enough and Crisis. Jerry Seinfeld and Jessica Sklar, 21 years together. The comedy Seinfeld, which bears Jerry Seinfeld's name, is one of the most recognizable comedies of the 1990s. The show's popularity was so great that it was the main reason the 1990s were a network era. His wife, Jessica Sklar, ended her recent marriage to music composer Eric Nederlander to be with him since he was so renowned. In 1998, they met at a sports club and their romance blossomed. She quickly married Seinfeld after divorcing Nederlander. Jerry Seinfeld appeared in a recent episode of Jimmy Fallon's Tonight Show. Brooke Shields and Chris Hinchey, 20 years together. Brooke Shields was among the most sought-after celebrities in the late 1970s and early 1980s. She received much attention for her parts in movies like Pretty Baby and The Blue Lagoon, particularly from tabloids that followed her to find out who she was seeing. Shields eventually dated tennis player Andre Agassi, but their brief romance lasted from 1997 to 1999. In 2001, she wed TV writer Chris Hinchey. They have 2 kids and reside in New York's Greenwich Village. A Castle for Christmas is the title of the film Shield is presently working on. Jeremy Irons and Sinead Cusack, 43 years together. What is required for a marriage to last more than 40 years? Consider Sinead Cusack and Jeremy Irons, who have been wed since 1978 and maintain a happy marriage despite their lengthy professional lives. However, Irons has acknowledged that marriage may sometimes be challenging. It all began when they met at an outdoor cafe on a cold day. According to reports, the encounter was informal, and Cusack thought he was a real gentleman. Together, they currently have 2 boys. He is shooting House of Gucci and will appear in Zack Snyder's Justice League in 2021. Meanwhile, Cusack's next movie is titled Gorilla. Davis Guggenheim and Elizabeth Shue, 27 years together. With her parts in Karate Kid and Back to the Future 2 and 3, Elizabeth Shue was the stereotypical girlfriend figure at one time in her career. Even if she outgrew her parts in movies like Leaving Las Vegas, her husband, Davis Guggenheim, still found her attractive. Like many other Hollywood relationships, the actress and director began on the set. Miles, Stella, and Agnes are their 3 children, and they were married in 1994. She is presently shooting a television series called On the Verge and returned to the Karate Kid role as Allie in Cobra Kai. Dustin Hoffman and Lisa Hoffman, 40 years together. Dustin Hoffman is a movie industry icon with 2 Oscars and 5 Golden Globes, but most of his achievements followed his 1980 marriage to Lisa Hoffman. In the year of their marriage, he even had a performance in Tootsie that earned him an Oscar nomination. Hoffman ended his previous marriage to Anne Byrne to be with her, even though they are 20 years apart in age. His religious observance has increased, as seen by the bar and bat mitzvahs of his 4 children. He appears in the movie As Sick as They Made Us. Lisa Rinna and Harry Hamlin, 24 years together. Although they are now well known for appearing on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, they were already famous before joining the reality program. Rinna's most notable roles are those of Taylor McBride on Melrose Place and Billy Reed on the classic serial opera Days of Our Lives. In contrast, Hamlin's most well-known work is L.A. Law, for which he received a Golden Globe nomination. He was also nominated for an Emmy for his recurring role on Mad Men. They have 2 kids and were married in 1997. While Hamlin is starring in the forthcoming series Unsinkable, Rinna was featured in the Hollywood Moment at Home edition 2020 in 2021. Greg Wise and Emma Thompson, 18 years together. Emma Thompson and Kenneth Branagh were formerly married in a well-known marriage. The media praised the connection and called them a golden couple. However, the love didn't endure. Rumors have it that Branagh's adultery ended the marriage. Despite his grief, Thompson kept working on the Sense and Sensibility movie. On the set, she met co-star Greg Wise, and Thompson gave a performance that won her an Oscar and a Golden Globe. In 2003, she married Wise. According to Thompson, Wise helped her pick up the shards of her heart and put it back together. Thompson appeared in the movie Cruella, which came out in 2021. Bill Gates and Melinda Gates, 27 years together. Bill Gates was the wealthiest man in the world for a while. He is still one of them, but he hasn't been at the top of the list for a while, partly because he withdrew from Microsoft's active duty a while back to devote more time to his charitable work and his wife, Melinda. It is known as the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and is considered the most prominent private charity. Melinda finally quit her job as a general manager at Microsoft in 1996 to care for their 3 children and nurture their family after they were married in 1994. Adam Sandler and Jackie Sandler, 18 years together. Some people may dislike Adam Sandler's films. However, some people must be seeing Little Nicky, Happy Gilmore, The Waterboy, and Jack and Jill since they have made over $2 billion at the movie office. Big Daddy is one of his most well-known movies, and he most likely delivered one of his best performances to win over Jackie Titone, who portrayed a waitress in the film. They had 2 kids together, and she changed her name to Jackie Sandler in 2003. In addition, he voiced Count Dracula in Hotel Transylvania 4 and starred in movies like Hustle. Sam Elliott and Katherine Ross, 26 years together. Without his mustache, Sam Elliott isn't the same person. His marriage to Katherine Ross is the only thing he has had for a more extended period. He attempted not to wear the stash for a time, but he didn't look like himself. But we don't think he tried to live without Ross for long. On the set of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, the pair first got to know one another. However, they waited until 1978 to begin dating, and 1984 they were married. He was reportedly included in the documentary The Chainsaw Artist, and most recently appeared on Stephen Colbert's The Late Show. Lori Loughlin and Massimo Gianelli, 23 years together. Massimo Gianelli and Lori Loughlin have finally moved beyond the college admissions controversy. While Gianelli served a 5-month sentence in prison in November 2020, Loughlin completed her jail time in December 2020. In April 2021, he was set free. Their careers suffered greatly due to the incident, with Loughlin suffering the most. The Hallmark Channel also canceled her contract, and her sequences from Season 6 of When Calls the Heart were cut out. She also lost a contract with Hewlett-Packard for advertising. They should be able to survive till they revitalize their brand thanks to their $70 million net worth. Chuck Norris and Gina O'Kelly, 22 years together. Although it may not seem courteous, Chuck Norris met Gina O'Kelly, his wife, while out on a date. As his many memes indicate, Chuck Norris is a man who does things the way he wants to, so it's likely that the rudeness component didn't bother him too much. Norris pursued the model despite their 23-year age difference, and they were married in November 1998. Norris and O'Kelly had twins born in 2001 and children from previous marriages. We last saw Norris on film during a TNA Impact episode, 2020 Wrestling. Johnny Crawford and Charlotte Crawford, 26 years together. Famous for his part in the drama series The Rifleman, Johnny Crawford was a heartthrob in the 1950s and 1960s. Before that, he was a Mickey Mouse Club Mouseketeer member and appeared in the program from 1958 until 1963. Johnny's career as a country music artist was also very successful, but all he wanted was to be with his high school love, regardless of rank, and the opportunity to have any woman. Before his connection with Charlotte Samko, his high school sweetheart, there were no rumors of him being in a relationship, except for a rumored romance with Deborah Tate. 1995 saw their marriage. Delta Burke and Gerald McRaney, 31 years together. Delta Burke's most well-known role was that of Suzanne Sugarbaker in the sitcom Designing Women, for which she received an Emmy nomination. She also starred with Mel Gibson in the 2000 movie What Women Want and in television series including Filthy Rich and Delta. Her spouse is Gerald McRaney, an actor from House of Cards and Major Dad. McRaney has children from a previous marriage, but they are childless. They were married in 1989. Together, they have endured many hardships, such as Burke's sighting issue. While McCraney had a recurrent part in 2021 episodes of NCIS Los Angeles, Burke hasn't been seen since her appearance in an episode of Dolly Parton's Sting Strings. Candace Cameron and Valerie Burr, 24 years together. Uncle Joey hasn't accomplished anything for Full House viewers. Although he contributed some much-needed light comedy, he was something of a third wheel on the program. However, he, or at least David Coulier, who portrayed him, is responsible for bringing Candace Cameron Burr and her husband, Valerie Burr, together. They married a year later after meeting at a charity hockey game that Collier invited her to. Valerie even gave Collier an autographed hockey stick as a token of appreciation. Burr Family Wines is their joint venture, and Candace just completed the film Aurora Tea Garden Mysteries, How to Con a Con. Tom Selleck and Jillie Mack, 33 years together. Tom Selleck developed an obsession with the play Cats when he was in London shooting the film Lassiter. His attention had been drawn to one cat in particular, Rumple Teaser. By the end of the shooting, he had won the woman over who portrayed the role with his charms. Jillie Mack is the actress in question. While he was still starring on Magnum P.I., Mack and Selleck relocated to Hawaii. They were married in August 1987 and had a daughter together. After leaving London, Mack didn't accomplish much in the business, although Selleck is still playing Frank Reagan in Blue Bloods. Mike Wolfe and Jody Faith, 27 years together. Although they began dating in 1994, Mike Wolfe and Jody Faith didn't get married until 2012. Therefore, they either waited for Wolfe to hit it big or engaged in a protracted dating game. He took this action when his popular reality TV program, American Pickers, began airing in 2010. In addition to helping Jody get over her fight with stage 2 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, they had their first child a few months before their marriage. In 2020, they shared an Instagram that she had been cancer-free for 6 years. On January 25, 2021, American Pickers' 22nd season premiered. Brad Allen and Jacqueline Smith, together for 23 years. Actors often meet their spouses while collaborating on a set. But in this case, Jacqueline Smith, who is most known for playing Kelly Garrett in the television series Charlie's Angels from the 1970s, met her husband after he operated on her father. Brad Allen is a cardiothoracic surgeon. They married in 1997. Actor Roger Davis was one of Smith's 3 previous marriages. The pair maintain a low profile, and Smith hasn't been particularly active lately. She starred in the 2019 Charlie's Angels film as Kelly Garrett. Daniel Craig and Rachel Weisz, together for 9 years. Rachel Weisz and Daniel Craig have a long history together. They collaborated on the movie Dream House, and when they began dating in 2010, their camaraderie soon turned into an emotional connection. However, they just dated as a formality, and after 6 months, they decided to tie the knot. In June 2011, the wedding took place. Only 4 people attended the intimate wedding in New York, including 2 of their children from past marriages. Since then, they have a daughter together. Craig's last James Bond movie, No Time to Die, is scheduled for release in 2021. On the other hand, Weisz appears in the much-awaited Black Widow movie. Snoop Dogg and Shantae Taylor, 24 years together. Marriages are based on mutual foundations, and Snoop Dogg and Shantae Taylor maintain their marriage by communicating, understanding, and forgiving one another. Although it seems like a lot of labor, things last long if you care for them. The rapper and Shantae were high school buddies and were married twice. Snoop and Shantae went through a difficult time, but rather than trying to escape it, the pop artist threw his wife a surprise second wedding. We hope they never re-encounter a problematic circumstance. John Corbett and Bo Derek, 18 years together. When Bo Derek's husband, John Derek, died in 1998, she didn't anticipate falling in love again. However, when the Bolero actress met John Corbett on a blind date, fate had something in store for her. They were immediately attracted to one another, which was not surprising given their attractiveness. Taking things day by day is the key to a good relationship, according to Corbett and Derek. Additionally, they both decided that marriage is not in the cards, since it might completely wreck everything. Their 18 years together show that this arrangement works, even if it may seem a little out of the ordinary to others. Harrison Ford and Callista Flockhart, 18 years together. The 22-year age difference between Harrison Ford and Callista Flockhart drew much criticism when they first started dating. Despite all that mattered in the world, the power couple sensed a lasting home in each other. Callista made her first move on Harrison by purposefully dumping a drink on him at the Golden Globes event in 2002 when the pair first met. Both Callista and Harrison divorced twice and were unmarried then. They agreed to meet up after the party and fell in love, and the rest is history, as they say. Richard Gere and Alejandra Silva, 4 years together. Hollywood star Richard Gere was regarded as the most eligible bachelor in the business, even in his mid-60s. Unfortunately, he joyfully lost this distinction once he met Alejandra Silva, a beautiful Spanish model and campaigner. After over 2 years of courtship, they decided to tie the knot in a private ceremony formally. Despite being from opposite generations, Richard and Alejandra have a strong friendship. They are now on the most thrilling journey of their lives, with 2 little children in the rear seat. Julia Roberts and Daniel Moder, 18 years together. This is one of those love tales that never changes. Actress Julia Roberts and cinematographer Daniel Moder have maintained a happy marriage for over 20 years. Filming The Mexican in 2001, the two met in their profession, much like other famous couples. Although they clicked almost immediately, their relationship could not succeed since they were seeing other people. The two didn't go public until a year later, and they were blessed with twins in 2002, not long after they were married. These two were meant to be together. Lisa Kudrow and Michael Stern, 25 years together. Michael Stern and Lisa Kudrow were dating separate individuals when they initially met, but fate brought them together. Following a period of courtship, they were married in 1995. Despite their lifelong vows, individuals have somewhat different ideas about what makes a good marriage. Her recipe is to trust your spouse, allow each other plenty of space, and promise to work through any issues that may come up. Lisa and Michael feel they should always live as 2 distinct persons while pursuing identical objectives, in contrast to the popular notion that couples must become one. Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell, 37 years together. The decades-long romance between Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn is reminiscent of a fairy tale. Since Valentine's Day in 1983, the famous pair have been together, and their marriage is still strong and vibrant. They met at work, much like other famous couples on our list, but it took 2 meetings before they clicked. In a recent interview, Hawn said that when their paths first met, they were too young. As a result, not much came of it. After their second meeting, they went on their first date, and their relationship took off. Since then, their romance engine has been in full swing. Meryl Streep and Don Gummer, 42 years together. Meryl Streep had to go through a difficult period when her then-partner died in the latter 70s. Don Gummer, a hero in sparkling armor, has just arrived at the Iron Lady's door. Following their first interactions, they bonded and were married shortly after. As evidence of their lengthy marriage, Streep paid the most heartfelt homage to her husband at the 2012 Academy Awards. Despite more than 40 years passing, the endearing couple shows no signs of ending their enduring passion. Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, 23 years together. Because Will and Jada are A-list celebrities with a large social media following, their relationship has always been the subject of tabloids. The couple married in 1997, only 3 years after meeting on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air set. Jada tried out for the part of Will's character's girlfriend in the popular sitcom, but she was passed over because of her short stature. However, the actress got married. Soon after that brief meeting, Will asked her out, and after their first date, love took over and flowered into the beautiful relationship that continues to this day. Elton John and David Furnish, 27 years together. Despite having a shorter marriage than other Hollywood power couples, Elton John and David Furnish have a far longer history together. It began when the Rocket Man hosted a little party at his home in 1993. David was brought over by one of their close friends, and they fell in love the moment their eyes met. However, since the UK hadn't established laws allowing homosexual marriage in the 1990s, the relationship had to be put on hold for a while. Following the legalization of same-gender marriages in England in 2014, they were among the first couples to tie the knot. Oprah Winfrey and Stedman Graham, 34 years together. Oprah prefers a business person, although most TV personalities like dating other celebrities. Stedman Graham, who owns S, is the fortunate guy. He is also an adjunct lecturer at Full Sail University and works at Graham and Associates. Oprah and Stedman are well-known influences, yet they keep their romantic lives out of the spotlight. One thing is sure, though, this couple remained together for more than 30 years without any significant arguments or issues. That's a feat not everyone can do. Tina Turner and Erwin Bach, 35 years together. Given that it took her 23 years to agree to Erwin Bach's proposal, Tina Turner has most likely made it into the records. That is the epitome of both perseverance and reluctance. The odds were set against Turner and Erwin's relationship in the 1980s, since she was getting close to 50 and he was over 20 years her junior. Ultimately, the couple's stunning wedding in the Swiss countryside showed the world that love overcomes all obstacles. Their tale has undoubtedly already been recorded in history. Ozzy and Sharon Osbourne, 38 years together. After a few encounters, the young Sharon began dating Ozzy Osbourne, whom she had first met as one of his band's assistant managers. 3 years after marriage in Maui, Hawaii, this couple's lives have never improved. Every post-marriage existence has its low moments, and for the Osbourne family, it was Sharon's colon cancer diagnosis in 2002. Ozzy and their kids were startled to hear the news, but they helped her through the therapy. Fortunately, she could effectively waive the sickness after battling with the procedures. Rob Lowe and Sheryl Burkhoff, 28 years together. Most people fear commitment and marriage aren't easy, but couples like Rob Lowe and Sheryl Burkhoff give us hope again. After meeting and going on a half-blind date in 1983, the two fell out of contact for 7 years. Fortunately, their reunion on the Bad Influence set impacted both celebrities. They quickly moved from 2 to 4 after getting married in 1991. Rob attributes much of his pleasure to his wife, kids, and family. Rita Wilson and Tom Hanks, 32 years together. Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson are renowned for being long-lasting and brilliant artists. This couple has been living together, sharing love and care since their 1988 marriage. So as you know, Tom has been crushing on Rita since she was 16. When the Forrest Gump star first saw his ideal lady on the sitcom The Brady Bunch, he was enthralled by her stunning appearance. 10 years later, he finally got to see the actress on the same stage, and we couldn't have imagined how thrilled he was. Tiger Woods and Erica Herman, 6 years together. The passionate connection between Tiger Woods and Erica Herman started in 2017 and was made public at the President's Cup that year. Former restaurant manager Erica was a constant in Tiger's life and could often be seen encouraging him at competitions. She supported him unconditionally and was there for him throughout essential times, including his impressive 2019 Masters triumph when he celebrated with his family. Additionally, Erica developed a deep relationship with Tiger's kids, Sam and Charlie, which resulted in a cozy and harmonious family dynamic. They demonstrated a relationship based on support and unity as they celebrated happy milestones and created memories of love, laughter, and respect for one another. One of the most treasured periods of their life is still their time spent together. Matt and Luciana Damon, 15 years together. While shooting in Miami, Hollywood star Matt Damon first met his love at a club. The bartender was Luciana, a single mother of a 4-year-old at the time, and they clicked right away. Matt and Luciana think differently, even though long-term marriages between celebrities and ordinary people are uncommon. Despite Matt's popularity as an action movie star and his corresponding fortune, the pair have persevered through good times and bad because of their dedication to prioritizing their family. Sarah Jessica Parker and Matthew Broderick, 23 years together. While her relationship with her on-screen character, Carrie Bradshaw, was unstable, Sarah has been married to her husband, Matthew Broderick, for over 20 years. They met on Broadway in 1991 and started dating a year later. In 1997, the couple decided to tie the knot secretly away from friends and family who arrived at the location, assuming it was only a celebration. Parker and Matthew still spend time with their kids and make time for them. We hope they all spend many more happy years together. Michael J. Fox and Tracy Pollan, 32 years together. For more than 30 years, these two lovers have been wed. It is quite an accomplishment considering the brief duration of most celebrity unions. The two first met in the movie Family Ties, where Michael starred and Pollan tried out for a part. Although their on-screen personas were together, their real-life chemistry had not yet blossomed. It has been a fantastic journey since they met on the set of Bright Lights, Big City 2 years later, as destiny would have it. Since 1991, when physicians determined that her husband had Parkinson's illness, Pollan has never left his side. That's what genuine love is. Drew Brees and Brittany Brees, 18 years together. They say you never marry your college sweetheart. Could you tell that to Drew Brees, the former quarterback for the New Orleans Saints, and his wife Brittany? Brees not only fulfilled his NFL ambition, but he also disproved the saying. They were married in 2003 after meeting while attending Purdue University as co-eds. They moved to New Orleans shortly after Hurricane Katrina devastated the city in 2006, and they still reside there with their 4 children. Brees, 42, retired in 2020 and joined NBC Sunday Night Football as an analyst in 2021. Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Brad Hall, 33 years together. Everybody wants to experience lifelong real love, and this pair fulfills everyone's fantasies. Brad and Julia were college sweethearts whose adolescent romance blossomed into their happy marriage. Brad was directing when Julia tried out for a part in a play. Their paths crossed once again, since they both had a passion for performing. Later on, they collaborated and even appeared together on Saturday Night Live. The two enhance each other's actions and form a strong partnership. Although 30 years may seem like a long time, Julia and Brad's sunset years are just beginning to improve. Robert Duvall and Luciana Pedraza, 15 years together. 15 years later, veteran actor Robert Duvall and Luciana Pedraza are still married after he unexpectedly met his soulmate. Where did it begin? Duvall views Buenos Aires in the center of Brazil as his second home. Luciana initiated contact after nudging her friends and asking Duvall to a party. The two have been inseparable ever since, and the rest is history. Their love is limitless, and you would assume they are still dating despite their significant age gap. They form a nice pair and are really into one another. Viola Davis and Julius Tenen, 15 years together. In every area of her life, Viola Davis is a victor. She is the first actress of her ethnicity to win the Triple Crown of acting in terms of career. Viola's marriage to fellow actor Julius Tenen thrives in her private life. From how they look at one another, you wouldn't realize they've been dating for more than 10 years. Viola said in a recent interview that she always wished for a wonderful spouse, taking us back to their dating days. She discovered her closest friend and soulmate, and her prayers were fulfilled. Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi, 12 years together. Although Portia fell deeply in love with the attractive TV anchor Ellen DeGeneres when they first met at a party in 2000, it took her almost 3 years to express her feelings. A few years later, they got back in touch, and love was in the air. One of the most romantic Hollywood tales began in 2008 when they went public with their romance and got married. This lovely coupling is one of the most talked about in show business circles and has stood the test of time. Since Ellen is the talk show queen, she is always in the limelight. Kara Sedgwick and Kevin Bacon, 32 years together. These two have been together for almost their entire lives, and their story is one of the cutest romantic comedies in Hollywood. This charming pair, who met on the production of the drama film Lemon Sky in 1988, surprisingly did not fall in love right away. It took a while for Kira to accept Bacon's invitation to supper. The fires between them were ignited by it, and that same year they were engaged. Since then, love has been an emotional roller coaster. The foundation of their successful marriage has been their friendship, and the couple has a lot to teach us about relationships. Raven-Symone and Miranda Madej, together since 2020. During the worldwide epidemic, our favorite Disney character, Raven-Symone, shocked everyone by announcing her marriage to Miranda Madej. That's so Raven, unconventional at all times. Their romance has remained under the radar, and the only information anybody knows about her partner, Miranda, is that she manages the social media accounts for the app Off the Menu. Fortunately, Raven's wedding was seen by her followers, and she posted her Madej photos on Instagram. Miranda's understated elegance counterbalances Raven's vibrant dreadlocks and quirky style. They are genuine compliments to one another. Catherine Bell and Brooke Daniels, 8 years together. Would Catherine Bell's well-known union with Adam Beeson have ended in 2011? She quickly fell in love with famed photographer Brooke Daniels. Sparks just flew since they had so many things in common. In contrast to Catherine, Brooke would rather spend her time behind the camera, but her partner's size makes this almost impossible. Despite this, the pair manages it effectively and benefits from both aspects. Is this the start of a long-term partnership? We believe so. Aaron Rodgers and Shailene Woodley, 4 months together. Aaron Rodgers, the great NFL player, is often in the news, sometimes for his outstanding on-field exploits and other times because of his romantic life. He reportedly began dating the stunning actress Shailene Woodley months ago. The quarterback for the Green Bay Packers seems to have met her shortly after the conclusion of his last relationship. However, because the power couple has not yet disclosed their connection to the public, where they initially met is still unknown. Fans are undoubtedly eager for the couple to share their love story. John Oliver and Kate Norley, 9 years together. John Oliver, the Emmy-winning late-night television personality, is renowned for his comedic satire and razor-sharp wit. His wife, unexpectedly, disagrees with some of his opinions since his weekly news summary contains liberal, sarcastic comments. Despite coming from a wealthy family, Kate Norley has never considered herself superior to others. She currently advocates for veterans' rights after working as a mental health professional in Iraq. John and Kate are the ideal pair, and their divergent points of view have only served to strengthen and mold their union. Sarah Michelle Gellar and Freddie Prinze Jr., 18 years together. Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar. Before making the big choice, they stayed friends for 2 years since they were both hesitant about getting married. It could only improve. This charming pair illustrates the adage that getting to know one another is crucial before committing to a lifelong partnership. Years later, the two still have a strong love bond and are inseparable. For each prospective couple, their marriage is the ultimate dream. Sarah and Freddie were married in 2002, not long after they met while filming I Still Remember What You Did Last Summer, despite their early nervousness. Joy Behar and Steve Janowitz, 9 years together. This pair seems to want to take their time in their romantic relationship. Although Behar and Janowitz have been dating since 1982, they didn't get married until 2011, more than 30 years later. Behar once had to call off their engagement to get people to stop talking about the relationship, which has always been the subject of public scrutiny. Even though they are childless, Behar's daughter from her previous marriage and her charming grandson provide the two with excellent companionship. They continue to go on dates like before, and maintaining the romance is the key to a lifelong marriage. Angela Bassett and Courtney B. Vance, 23 years together. Everybody enjoys hearing classic Hollywood fairy tales. This one is no exception. After more than 2 decades, Bassett and Vance's marriage has remained strong. The pair met while attending the esteemed Yale University School of Drama for their academic education. They were friends for about 10 years before becoming lovers, and now soulmates. So, surprisingly, their flaming passion was anything except love at first sight. Bassett claims that she was captivated by her husband's charisma, dependability, and enthusiasm in everything he did. You know what to do to acquire a beauty like this. Erica Durance and David Palfy, 15 years together. More than 10 years ago, Erica and David exchanged vows, marking the beginning of a happy partnership that has endured. Before she fell in love with David, the Canadian actress, who gained notoriety for her part in the action-packed television series Smallville, was in 3 marriages. 10 years into their marriage, the couple welcomed their son, which seems that being parents has deepened their bond. Given the demanding schedule of a working mother, Erica claims that her husband is the finest support system in her life. This pair has exciting things ahead of them. Wesley Snipes and Nakyung Park, 17 years together. Through the 1990s, Wesley Snipes was one of Hollywood's top leading men, tall, black, and attractive. Although his career has subsequently taken a different turn, he still works as an actor regularly. After dating Nakyung Park for several years, the Blade Trilogy actor wed the latter in 2003. Nakyung, the daughter of Korean immigrants, was raised in Vancouver and became a prosperous artist and businesswoman. Despite their riches and career achievements, the couple and their 4 kids are still loving and grounded. Tom Ford and Richard Buckley, 34 years together. The tale of Tom Ford and Richard Buckley may be the best example of a celebrity falling in love at first sight. After the first encounter, this designer only required about a month to be convinced that Richard was the appropriate guy. Indeed, they have been sharing a residence since 1986. Unbelievably, the key to their enduring connection is only one little thing: showing respect. Regardless of the issues, the pair may always discover answers by taking note of and listening to each other's opinions. Roman Reigns and Galina Becker, together 6 years. Leati Joseph Anoa'i is a member of the WWE SmackDown brand, and his ring name is Roman Reigns. He played football for several years before resigning and switching to professional wrestling. Given their significant sports experience, it is not unexpected that his wife is also a professional athlete. During her college years, Galina Becker participated in track. The attractive athlete has now become a fitness model. Together, the devoted couple have 3 lovely kids, and we wish them even more happiness in the future. Danny DeVito and Rhea Perlman, 48 years together. When Danny DeVito and Rhea Perlman announced in 2017 that they were no longer living together, they surprised all their fans. However, you are mistaken if you believe that their marriage is gone. They had never even considered getting a divorce. Danny and Rhea keep their connection as close as possible, even if they don't now live together. In addition to communicating almost daily, they often get together. It's a unique stage in a relationship, but why not if it makes them happy? Selma Hayek and François-Henri Pinault, 11 years together. Throughout her career, Selma Hayek, a Hollywood movie star and one of the most talented actresses of her time, has given subtle and unforgettable performances. In 2007, she announced her engagement to François-Henri Pinault, a French billionaire of enormous fortune. Selma often alludes to how passionate their initial meeting was. She is highly forthright about her love and devotion to her husband, despite her preference to keep matters private and out of public view. The couple's numerous dogs and other animals they rescue share their household joy, and they have a daughter. How motivating. Phoebe Cates and Kevin Kline, 31 years together. Kevin Kline is one of many Hollywood stars who fall in love on the set and stay together for the rest of their lives. Phoebe Cates' stunning look lingered in his memory when he first saw her at the Big Chill audition. Thus, he accepted the actor's implied invitation to go on a date when they next met at the Public Theater in New York. Since their second encounter, things have rapidly gotten out of hand, and 4 years later, they decided to be married. Many people predicted how long the union would last, but the pair successfully kept their marriage going for decades, proving their predictions incorrect. Nicole Richie and Joel Madden, 10 years together. Royalty in Beverly Hills. When Nicole Richie and teenage idol Joel Madden dated in 2006, it sparked a media frenzy. A sizable fan following finds the pair amusing and sympathetic in their marital experiences. Nicole made a reputation for herself with her renowned reality television series, The Simple Life, despite initially only being known as the daughter of music great Lionel Richie. In the meantime, Joel had become quite well known as the lead vocalist of his band, Good Charlotte. We wish the couple, who have been together for over 10 years, all the best.
If you've watched the video till here, that means you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notifications bell icon